Yes, definitely need to welcome everybody to the 1122 podcast, darling, because we're going to get into some things today. Oh, ho.
Sugar foot.
Okay. Oh, we are live. Look at that. I just found us. I just found us. This is cute. It's so cute. So we're going to have to just wait till everybody gets in here. You excited?
Yes.
You
Nervous. Like,
excited?
I'm all cheesy, so you see is my damn teeth. I
You say you see your teeth.
said, all you see is my damn teeth. I'm all cheesy.
Uh,
At least they're white, and I got them all.
okay.
Period.
So I guess guys don't pay attention to the captions because I guess it's trying to, I don't know. It's just trying to tell y'all what we're trying to say, but it's not really saying it because you already know we have accents and all that. And we
Yeah.
be acting a little ghetto.
Not too much. Not.
Okay. I hope you guys are doing fabulous and living the best version of your reality per usual. Now, welcome to the 1122 podcast. My name is Hierophant Joey for the people that don't know me, and I want you to give Miss Darliana Clanton a little warm welcome.
For you that don't know.
Oh, no,
Okay.
so because listen, it's been a long time coming. Like I've been having this idea for how long now?
Mad long. Mad long.
Mad long, right? And it's like finally it's happening, and we're here, which is so funny because we have like a background story to that as well. Um, because remember you having a dream
Mm-hmm.
about being on the a podcast and
Yes.
being
Yep.
asked about your story
Story and
and
stuff.
all of that.
And
And it's so funny, collective, because we talked about that like a year and a half ago.
literally. And I always just be like, Joey, I feel like we gotta work together on something. And I was like, I don't know what it is, but I don't know. But then boom, look.
Period. Good afternoon, Naki. How are you? I mean, I kind of feel like it's long overdue. I just kind of feel like Spirit was like waiting for me to kind of like have the credits to be able to come out here, have people like you, like that have ascended to be
Mm-hmm.
able to tell their story. How the
Mm-hmm.
fuck are we gonna have a podcast if there's no storytelling?
Let me tell.
You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
it's
I had to do the work and shit, Had to do the work.
okay, right. And even myself, right? Because that was the whole point. I feel like I had to grow as well within my own energy and how I communicate certain things.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for sharing. But you also, um, people need to understand that everything is a process and nothing should be rushed. Everything's on God's timing, right? So, with
Definitely
that
got
being said, the point of this podcast, I kind of feel like I came up with the name 1122 simply because they're both master numbers. And, um, it goes from the mind to the emotions to the spiritual 11, 22, 33, right, which 33 is the Christ consciousness. And I kind of feel like 11, 22 are the first two aspects of ourselves that we have to work through to be able
yeah.
to get to the Christ consciousness. Good afternoon, Mommy Bella. How are you, darling? But I kind of feel like the 1122 podcast is going to give everybody a chance to be able to have like a peek at what everybody's ascension process is like, or because people think that we're in the woods fucking killing roosters and fucking praying to the devil and like doing crazy shit, but that's not what the fuck we're doing. Like,
We're not.
this
We're
is not
literally
for the
healing
weak.
ourselves. We're healing past trauma, childhood trauma, all of it.
Generational
Right.
curses, like
All of
things
that.
that were bestowed upon us that we had no control over, right?
All of it. Mm-hmm.
So it becomes very, very difficult, and it's not for the weak. Okay,
I
it
was
is
gonna say
not.
that, guys. Before you want to enter this spiritual journey, I'm gonna be honest. It's not for the weak. You're gonna want to fold. You're gonna want to quit, but you got to keep going forward and keep doing it because when you see the benefits of it, you'll be like, "Wow, how much your life changed and how brighter you are, and how like you really know like you control your own reality, like nothing else. Like that's it.
I mean, if God made you in His image, doesn't mean that you're God creating your own reality. You're a co-creator, right?
Yep.
That's
Period.
like walking around your parents being black and you telling everybody that you're fucking Puerto Rican. Like, it makes no sense. Like, if
At
God
all.
said I made you in my image, then you're a God creating your reality. Hence why he gave you free, it gave you free will. So you can be able to make your own choices, whether they are high vibrational or low vibrational. So I just wanted to introduce the podcast in that way, introduce my guest. And now I kind of want to get into the meat of the sandwich, if you will, right? Because once again, give Miss Darliana Clanton a warm
Yay.
welcome now that you guys are in here because listen, it's about to get real. Okay.
God.
And Darliana, we have what people don't know about us is that we have known each other before, like for a long time. Since
Yes, a lot.
childhood, if you will. Like I literally used to coach her on a dance team
I
for
was just about to say that. I'm like,
a
guys, you used to
recreational
coach me
center.
on dancing and against all that. Like, are you dumb?
Listen, we was 5, 6, 7, 8 boom cat,
What?
okay?
What? What?
Like
One
it
two
was
step.
out here.
Hey.
And listen, we used to dance for the basketball team for Zucolo, right?
Mm-hmm.
But so we know each other prior to the ascension process and all of that. And it's kind of beautiful to watch people grow and change. And anyway, let's get to the meat of the sandwich collective. Mhm. Hey, Bianca, Bonnie, how are you? So I have a couple questions for you, and these are going to be the same questions that every single guest gets on this podcast, right? So if you are watching this podcast and you know that you're about to be a guest on this podcast, I will hope that you pay attention to the questions so you don't get triggered or catch by surprise or whatever the fucking case may be. Okay, so pay attention.
See, like what I'm gonna be going and doing right now, guys. I'm sorry.
Okay. No shade, no tea. Actually, all the tea because I'm drinking hibiscus.
And look, 60 to that.
Okay. Listen, honey. She was brewing. Listen, she was brewing. Okay. Hey, Sheena, how are you? So let's talk about what a day in your childhood looks like. Like, who were you before Ascension? Like, what did a day in your family look like as a little girl? Like, who were you? What were your qualities? What were your personality like? Like, what were you into? Like, let's start there because we have to take the people on a journey. Okay.
All right. Well, the child me, when I was little around my family, I was always the one that will pop out doing the dance moves. Like, cause my family, like every holiday and stuff like that, it was like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to say like a tradition, but like we always like recorded like our time together and stuff like that, which we got to get back on. But like I
Period.
was always the one like just doing the dance move. Y'all just see me in the corner or something, like just to myself all shy, just dancing, just being to me. But like around like my friends, like I was the shy one. Like I was always the one to the back. I let them be in the front. Like y'all go
Right.
and I'll be back here. And like, I didn't mind it. And now that I'm older, I realize I was blocking my own light. Like, why am I not out
Mhm.
there with yous? Like, why am I pushing yous? Like letting yous be in the front center and not me. Oh, it comes down to me being shy, me being closed off. Like, I don't know. I
Well,
just
which is about this episode because like I told you, your episode is about self-value, right? So
mhm,
even with that being said, you just said that and it's like it just clicked, like it just makes sense as to why we're making this episode. It has a
yeah.
lot to do with self-value and the emotional our emotional selves and some of the things that were invalidated or that we didn't validate as kids, right?
hmm
So okay, so you were the little shy one with the friends in the
That had
social
dreams though.
settings.
Like I always would watch like America's Next Top Model. Like I could be like, I can do that. I used to really like practice, like do
Hmm.
like when they used to do the runway shows and stuff. I used to be doing it. And, like I used to be acting like I'm on the ghosties. Like I'd be like, but then I used to be like, I'm too shy to be doing that. Like me, a model. Like that was my problem. Number one problem with me. Always doubtful of my own abilities and stuff like that. So like got older and started my spiritual journey. Like you said about, self evaluation, like I realized, like, girl, I can do anything I put my mind to. Anything I want, I can
Right.
get. And that's
Right.
that.
So now get into the meat of the sandwich, right? Because so all fine and dandy, you was a dancer, haha, goofy, goofy, goofy. But we all know that no family is perfect and that everybody endures childhood traumas or some type of memory or some type of situation or some type of something. Because if you weren't able to validate yourself, where did that come from?
hmm
Excuse me, because if you really think about it, you're born into this world and it's like you're a blank computer. You really don't have information in that computer unless somebody sits on it and starts doing shit on it, right? So
Yeah.
some of my generational curses, traumas, problem situations, even our emotional habits and how we express ourselves come from our parents, right?
Yeah.
So what is your earliest trauma that you can remember as a child?
Oh shit. My earliest trauma. Hmm. Then
Listen, it can be as simple as literally like getting bullied, like because
oh, I can.
even
All right. Well, that
even
I don't want to
even
say bullied about it, but it made me self conscious in a way, like because I always been small and everybody always tells me how small I am, how skinny you are, and stuff like that. And I always used to be like, so like, who wants to be fat? Like, I like my body. I got pack, six pack, and everything. Like what? And then like, but
Mhm.
like as getting older, it's still the same thing. Like, oh, you're small, you're tiny, you're this, you're that. And I just learned to love the skin I am because I notice whether I'm big or fat or not, like nobody's gonna be perfect. Somebody always gonna have something to say about you, regardless how you look. So
I know
that was
that's period.
mm-hmm.
So I mean, what is like what I'm trying to get to is one memory or one childhood memory that you can go back to that you felt indifferent, you felt misunderstood, you felt like, what the fuck am I doing here? You felt like, why am I uh placed in this family? Like a place or a memory where you knew there was something different. You knew you had to take another path. You knew that something wasn't right and that what was being bestowed upon you wasn't what you wanted to experience, if you will.
Honestly, I'm gonna keep it honest. I'm gonna say when I was with my kid's father, um, and me having that will to want to let go, but like being around like some of my family and stuff, like we like try to work it out with the person, like no matter how long, it could be years and years, and then like, but me, I was just in a dark, literally in a dark place in my life where I'm just like, I don't want that. Like, I know what I want. I know the type of love that I want. Like, I am not sticking around just because you're my kid's father. We have kids, like the history, all of that. Like,
Which are generational curses, by the way.
yes. So like me, and then so it was like a really literally a battle within me versus me because it's just like what I witnessed growing up and seeing. And so it's just like, do I stay and work it out, or do I really like go through the unknown? Because me, I hate the unknown. I don't like going into stuff that I don't know what's gonna happen. Or like, cause we don't say I really let go, and then I'm regretful or doubtful later on in my mind. Like, dang, because you us females always have in our head like, if the guy's not doing what we want now, he's gonna do it with somebody else. So we stay thinking and hoping that
Right.
the person changes. But in that aspect, it's just like when they do finally get to that point of doing the things that you wanted them to do, now you want more. You're expecting more. So
Right.
I was really like me versus me, like like I'm saying now, I was telling myself that like, dog, this is what you want and everything else. Even if he does move on and find someone better and instill some quality that you put onto him, that's okay. You did your job. You helped
Right.
him. You helped heal him in any like some shape or form for the next person because he couldn't do that for you.
Correct.
And so it was like literally me versus me. And I picked me. And it was really a battle. Like I really like argued with my son, my family about that decision too. It was crazy.
Well, I mean, why would you have to argue with your family with that decision? Because it's all about you, right? You're the one that's in the relationship. You're the one that's going through all this negative shit and potentially
Hmm.
being in a relationship with a narcissist person who was raised by a patriarchal society, which this person is going to believe that you're supposed to be doing everything for them. You're supposed to be compassionate. You're supposed to hold them down, right? And then, like we said earlier, these are part of the generational curses because our parents were out here chasing men and chasing women just
Yep.
because, well, we got to be together for the rest of our lives for the kids and for this and for that. And meanwhile, we're the ones, dealing with the trauma of watching our single parent chase people that were treating them like shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So now in the future, now we're in these relationships Now we're in these relationships and literally sitting here, kind of like asking ourselves, are we doing the right thing? Are we doing what we're supposed to be doing? Like, what is going on, right? So I don't know what happened to Darliana here. But I don't know. We're gonna keep going until she comes back on because what happened? So yeah, collective. I kind of feel like some of those energies and some of those things, I kind of feel like we don't realize that they come from the parents. They come from people that we were watching trying to survive and trying to be loved and trying to, you know, come up with all these things, right?
There we go.
Okay,
Yeah.
she's back. Boom. So, right, so they were like generational curses. Like we had to watch our parents do this and do that, which conflicts us within making these decisions in the in the future when we have these partners and all these things. Oh, we have to stay. We have this Disney version of love. We have to just endure and get our ass beat and lied to and get cheated on and all this other shit.
Or
So,
literally do everything and it still not be enough. Like literally you can work, cook, clean, take care of the kids, all of that, and have no appreciation, no thank you, no nothing. And I'm gonna stay. Bye.
right. So, what was that conversation like with your family?
It was
Like
just
to me.
more of so like you said about narcissists, like the other party is showing like they're trying to change and this is not, but it's just like nobody knows the person you're dealing with more than you. You live with them, you slept with them, you had a kid with them, you know them more than you anybody, like your family, especially like so you know how people can act like they're changing and they're bettering themselves, and you just know, like I just knew my intuition was just telling me that's bullshit.
It's giving bullshit.
Heavy on the bullshit. Like, no, fuck this. Excuse my language, guys. But I was just like, nah. Something was just inside of me telling me, like, mind you, guys, this is when I first started my spiritual journey with Joey and stuff. So it was just like, something's just telling me, like, my intuition is like, nah. Like, I really was fighting with myself. Part of me was just like, give it a try. You changed it. Part of me was like, no, you're done, girl. You know what it is. And one of the main things, because nobody knows, like I tell certain people like this, but I made a promise to myself, because I don't know if somebody some know, some may know, some may not know. I was engaged, and before
Interesting,
the
bitch. I
engagement,
didn't even know that.
yeah, so we was like, the on and off BS. So I made a
Mhm.
promise to myself. Mind you, nobody knew this too either, not even him. I knew he was gonna propose to me too on Christmas. The day of, I knew, I felt it. Like I just something told me he gonna propose to you. But you're just like, you're crazy, dog. Like, just thinking, what I'm gonna get for Christmas, a Christmas gift, whatever. But he ended up indeed and proposed to me. But I made a promise to myself. I said, dog, you already know the back and forth. You just go through the back and forth constantly all the time, and engagement to me and marriage, it's serious to me. Like I want to be married one day. I'm gonna be married one day. I don't care. So, and I told myself, we get engaged and it end. That's it. They ain't no coming back. They ain't no working it out. Nothing. Because I take engagement serious. If this engagement ends, that's it. Cause we're not boyfriend and girlfriend no more. We're engaged.
Right. This is
So
some
it's like,
grown ass shit now.
thank you. Like that's I had to argue with that with my family too. It's just like we're not doing the breaking up, making up. It's like we're engaged now.
We're engaged. We're broken up. We're engaged. We're broken up. We're gonna postpone the wedding. Like, just because you're not ready and you're not healed and you're going through your traumas because you probably
Yeah.
got emotional abandonment issues. We're not gonna do that.
But thank you. Harry, I'm not doing that. And I literally, my life flashed in front of my eyes, and I was just like,
Hmm.
nah, I don't want that. I don't want this. Like, I'm not. No matter how much you're trying to show me you're changing for me, I appreciate that. But I want you to continue on changing for yourself, not just for me.
Right.
That's the difference. People don't understand that when you change, you gotta just change. You gotta really want to change for yourself, not just for the person, because you can change for that person, use them work out. Then what? You go back to yourself. That's toxic.
Well, that's the narcissism, because now you're only
Exactly.
changing because you don't want the other person to leave, because then you lose control of that person. So
Exactly.
that's the narcissism, the ego telling them, well, you what you have to do to keep them, and blah blah
Yep.
blah blah. Blah. And that's the problem. We grew up in a society where, whether you're male or female, it just feels like you have to play this role for you to be able to be happy within a partnership. And then,
Yep.
to be really honest, you don't have to play a fucking role. You have to be healed and be honest with yourself and be
Yep.
balanced. That is
Yep.
it. It kind of feels like we took all of our fucking parents' baggage, the relationships, what they did, what they went through, and then we took that as a template to be in relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Oh well, if you ain't being jealous, if you ain't arguing with me, if you then you don't love me. Then it's like what?
Like toxic. Like this.
If oh well, because she's mine. What? So now I'm a property, bitch. So now we're playing Monopoly,
Really?
bitch. It's like, what the fuck is
Yeah.
going on? Right? So it's just like, you know what? We're gonna leave that for the birds, because I
Mm-hmm.
kind of feel like a lot of people can relate to that, and a lot of people might be going through that.
Yeah.
So if you guys are going through that shit, down in the comments, I mean, down in your reality, put that shit down in the comments. Be like, put a one in the comments if you're going down.
Yeah.
No, so another question would be, before we get into anything deeper, would be were you ever spiritual or religious, or like your family, like what's the deal with that?
Honestly, not really, but I always felt like I had it in me in a weird way. Ever since I was little, like I loved like all that like stuff, like watching all the like the ghost stuff and all that. But I never put in my mind like, oh, I'm spiritual. Like it just I don't know. It's just like I don't. It's weird. Like you like open up my eyes to like everything, and now like I put two and two together. Like even going as far as back when I was little, and all the stuff that I went through, and like stuff that I knew that was transpiring, and it's just crazy.
It is crazy. So that's interesting. Now, you wasn't religious, and you didn't come from a family that was going to church, and you didn't.
Like
So
I do. Like
it
I
was
went to church.
very,
Like my grandma like on Sundays, like here and
yeah.
there, but like not like like in depth in it. Like like
Right. So, which brings me to my next question.
gosh, snap.
How, how did everybody take it when you started like awakening? Like, and like, oh my God, I'm having dreams. Oh my God, like I'm in depression mode. Get the fuck away from me. Like, I'm gonna cut you off. And how I got, like, you know what I'm saying? All that crazy shit was happening. Like, what was your family saying? Like, what was your baby daddy saying at that time?
I felt I was getting like I'm crazy. Like you're just saying, you're just talking. Like you don't know, like with just like like just brush it to the side, like and like like I was just tripping and stuff. So that made me like get more in my dark hole because it's just like damn, like I'm trying to like better myself and like find me and like heal, like like stuff like that. And it's just like having your family thinking that it's BS because they're not into it. Only like one person, like kind of like two people, like my cousin and stuff. Like she's into it as well, like me. But she was the only one I really like really confided in, like, and that like always pushed me, guided me, like pushed me through. Like you got this. Like I did the same thing. I went through the same thing, like stuff like that. So, but it was hard, kind of. But it's funny how now how like everything that's been transpiring in my life and I've been saying that's gonna happen happened. Now my family's on board. Okay. Now
Wait,
they're on
because
their
I said,
spiritual motherfucking journey and shit. Fuck.
because it takes me to that other story. Because remember when we did this reading, and Spirit was like, "Well, you're gonna have your daughter," and then we was like, "You're fucking right. Like, this is really gonna happen." And we literally were manifesting that shit for like a year.
Literally.
And everybody was like, "That's not gonna happen. You're not gonna have your daughter," and blah 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 blah.
Even
And
me, because I'm just like, where's she coming from? Because I'm not
right,
like
you're not in a relationship. You're like, you know what I'm saying? But that brings us to the next lesson of spirituality. You have to also be careful what you try to manifest when you're in these energies and
guys,
vibrations.
listen to that.
Tell your
Because
tell your story, bitch.
listen, guys, like not like on some real shit. Like I'm thankful for my daughter. I love her dearly. Like I manifested my daughter. But like the situation, how she's here, it's just like it could have been better. Like, cause all I would say in my head and would say to like people like when they ask me, "Oh, you want more kids?" I'm like, "Of course, like I want my daughter. Like I'm gonna have my daughter. Like my next kid, if I get pregnant again, it's gonna be my daughter. My daughter this, my daughter that." But in the same sense, I never manifested like I want to be in like a happy, loving relationship with the father of my child, like my daughter, and like stuff like that. So like she's here, but like like I could have manifested better. So when you do manifest, you gotta really be specific on what you manifest, because if you're not, you may get what you manifest, but it may not be exactly the form of like how you actually like pictured it and instilled it in your mind. But like you got it, but it's just like now like next time I manifest, I gotta make sure I'm specific
Well, yeah,
on what
because
it
it's
is.
like look, it's 12-12. It's like
Mm-hmm.
going to, which is the next episode actually, but it's it's like going to a drive-through, asking for a burger and forgetting to say no pickles, and then you get to the window, you do get the fucking burger, but now it
Burger.
has pickles on it.
Wasn't it? Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So you have to
Mm-hmm.
be very specific. So basically, what she's saying, guys, is that yes, she manifested her daughter. She manifested her. She ended up pregnant. Clearly, we all know how
Cause
the
like
fuck
I mean,
that
I forget.
happened.
Like I did manifest the guy too. Like like the happy ever after. But I didn't manifest it together. So he's on the way. Wait.
No, right. But what we're saying when it comes to your daughter, it's like,
Mm-hmm.
yes, the guy came in, you had, we all know how a child gets here. And then now the child is here, but this person was never prone to being in a relationship, to being in a commitment, to
Mm-hmm.
actually wanting to build. So you have to be very specific on what you're asking for and what you're trying to manifest here, right? Which is
Yeah.
very fucking interesting because I have a lot of stories about that. And this is why I tell you guys that getting readings is only half of the story. um Being able to cleanse yourself is only half of the story. Being able
Mm-hmm.
to balance your energies and your frequencies is only half of the story, and then the way that you manifest things is also the other half of the story, right?
Literally.
So you have to be very, very cautious here, because once you start becoming the alchemist of your own reality, you can't blame nobody but yourself.
Yourself. And I had to realize that too, guys. You gotta start seeking accountability for y'all shit, what y'all put yourself in. You can't keep blaming the other person because you're allowing it at the end of the day. No bullshit.
Dead ass. So what's gonna bring us to our next question, Darliana?
Ah.
What is one of the most spiritual experiences you have had so far?
I think the most will honestly be like my daughter and my modeling, because them are the two main like I
Oh
got more.
yeah.
So, but the main one, like the first one, would be my modeling, because like I literally said, like even when I was a little girl, like I said, as a little girl, I always seen myself, pictured myself like being a model. Like I will always like even had visions like of myself like going down the runway, and it's crazy. Speaking of that, like I will always have vision, like you said about like us, like I had like the dream and stuff, like us doing this, like me talking about like my extension and stuff like that. I also had dreams and stuff like of me on a runway, and that's when I went to LA
Which I
for
did your hair for.
LA Fashion Week, and I slayed that shit. I killed it.
Okay.
Even though I was so nervous, but I killed it. And then it's just like I got more coming. Like, listen, what?
I know there's more coming, and that's the next question. But let me hold on.
Yes.
What, do you think that if you would have stayed in that toxic relationship with your baby daddy, that you would have been a model?
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. I don't. Cause I would talk to him about it and stuff, and like I didn't feel like that support, kind of like I didn't feel like I feel like your spouse should be like your number one, like I don't want to say fan, but yeah, like your number one supporter, your fan. Like you got this, you got like like I don't know, but I just didn't get that. So I just felt like in that situation I was just in a dark, and like I said, pushed back. I didn't let myself. I want to feel like to do that, but once I got out of that situation, I found my light. I was
Right.
digging up the fucking tunnel, seen that
Okay.
bitch.
Okay,
Okay.
bitch. I was trying to find the light. Where is it? Like, what the fuck is that? National Grid. Where are you?
Okay. And once I seen that bitch, I was out. Okay. And then look, still shining.
And we're
So
still here. So, with that being said, the next question is, who are you now? after your ascension? Well, now that you're in the process of your ascension, like who are you now? Like, can you proudly, confidently, with spiritual confidence, say who you are now?
Um, I think I can. I can
So,
honestly say now. Well, Joey, Joey, these questions, but I can honestly now spiritually say like I know who I am now. Like I know my purpose. Like I feel like I'm here now to like tell my story and my trials and tribulations to maybe possibly help others and you know, just keep being me, that strong person, like never doubt my intuition. That's another thing. I always was a doubtful person, always doubted my abilities and myself. Cause I used to be like, cause you know, like when you grow up and like around a certain era and like you feel as though like me, I can do that. Like I can be like, you know, like never hearing like you got this or you can do it. You're able to do that. Like that's why
well,
me
it
now
goes back to our parents where we was talking
yeah.
about sometimes we don't get validated. You're like, oh, mom, I want to be a mom. That's never gonna fucking happen. Finish school. How about that? You know
Right,
what I'm
right,
saying?
yeah. So like
So
now I tell my sons and
it's
like my
like
kids.
we go ahead.
It's like now I tell my kids now, my son's like my oldest, he be telling me now, like I just make me want to cry because he's like a smart, so smart and it's crazy how
Yeah.
he knows these things. But he tells me now like how he wants to like be in an NFL, like be a great football player or be a cop or be this. I'd be like, yup, you sure absolutely can. You can do anything you want. You can put anything in your mind
Right,
to you
because
can
now you're acknowledging it instead of our parents being like, "Well, that's not possible because it wasn't possible for them," or
do.
"Yeah, yeah, yeah, just finish school and then we'll talk about like these
Yeah.
things." Parents don't understand that we need validation, we need acknowledgement, we
Hmm.
need because in part of our ascension journey, that was part of the fucking depression. It's the you're not fucking good enough. Well, fuck you, and this is how
Hmm.
people treat me. Well, if you're so good enough, why are you in this relationship? Why are your parents treating you like this? Why are your siblings treating
Hmm.
you like this? And it's
Yep.
simply because we weren't getting the praise, we weren't getting the acknowledgement, and now we had to learn how to uh dismantle all of that and destroy all of that and now come to ourselves. Like,
Yeah.
what do you believe about yourself? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
And I'm still me versus me because I like you said I'm still getting out of that. Like yeah, I ascend, but like we said in the beginning, it ain't for the weak. You're gonna be tested constantly. It's not an ending process, guys. Like I'm telling you right now. Like some days I'd be like, just take me out, yo. But then after when I get through it and I like feel better and I just feel like yes, like now like you got this. Like keep going, keep going, keep going. Like you know.
Right. So what is the relationship with your family and your baby daddy now?
Um, it's good. It's better.
It's
Um,
better. It's going.
it's going. Cause honestly, like I've been like ever since I had my daughter, like I just been to myself mainly. Like I talk to like my mom, like my cousin, like you know my sisters and stuff like that. But I just mainly like just be to myself. Like I'm just trying to get me right, you know. But with my kid's father, um, wait, which one actually? I'm gonna keep it a buck. Which one? My
Okay.
daughter's dad
Listen,
or my son's
well,
dad?
listen. Well, let's talk about the first one, the one that you actually have to get away from to be able to ascend.
Well, him, Lord, it's just like me. If you know me, you know I don't judge you. I'm a caring person. You can do the worst to me, and you can call me, and I'll be there listening to you. Like you can vent to me, and I can like it's crazy. So with him, it's just like he knows that about me. So he sometimes uses that as his advantage, and I feel like he does certain things to get reactions out of me because people know me like the doll like me being argumentative, like or me
Being a
not
fucking Taurus.
yeah, me not knowing how to take criticism and like me being defensive a lot. So like and people know like it's not what you say to me, it's how you say it. So you
You
say something
fucking Tauruses. You
you
fucking
say something to me a
Tauruses.
certain way, I'm gonna pop off. But
Period.
now like seeing that is just like I don't like how it makes me feel after I react. Like I just like I didn't have to react that way. So when it comes to him, I'm choosing to limit. Like has access to me. Like we there's no access now, like only like through texting wise. But
Yeah.
even that, I just like I sometimes I just don't want no parts. Like
You don't want the smoke.
yeah,
Okay.
I just don't want. Sometimes and it makes me feel like a way because me like I love the fact like to see like because it takes a village. I always say that it takes a village to raise these kids, like
Yeah, yeah.
whether you're blood or not. So it's just like I want my son to see his parents like coexist.
Co-parent.
Yeah, be cool, cordial, and collective, but it's just it just never works that way. It never works that way. Only with my first BD, I can honestly say like my first BD, like my oldest dad is just like it's just it works, it clicks. Like even his family, like his dad's side, his mom's side, like they all love me to this day. We're all close, we're all cool, and it's just like this one is just like it's a difference. Like when you go from something so like non-toxic, even though you had your problems, you split, but you still remain like called you cool. Like you put
Yeah.
your kid first. Like that's one thing I can say. Like we always put our kid first. But it's like this situation is just like I be trying to put the kid first, but then the BD, you know how that goes. But I don't want to like put the blaming game because I'm not perfect, and sometimes I started shit too. Like but as I started ascending myself and bettering myself, it's just like, I don't got time for this. What are we arguing for? It should be a 50-50, like me. Like, I don't bother
I
you.
mean, listen, it was a 50-50 when we was laying in that bed. So
Okay.
keep it cool. Put that shit on mute, sir. Keep it over there if you're not doing what you're supposed to do, sir. Okay?
Thank you. And it's just like people expect you to just sit around and just like take that BS because of their trauma, of what they witnessed and seen in their life. They expect you to be that way, like, or be that certain female in their life. That's not me. I'm
Right.
sorry. I want appreciation for my work. I don't give a fuck because if I'm sitting here at home, I'm taking care of the house, the kids, all of that shit, and then you come home and go on a game. No, thank you. No, I love you. No belly rub, bitch. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like,
Giving
that got
hell to
draining.
the no, bitch.
And
It's giving. Can somebody get this nigga a pastor? Because what is going on?
it's giving really like manipulation. It's giving very like it was just too much, and it made me feel like during that situation. Honestly, it made me feel like what am I doing wrong? Is it me? Like I'm doing everything, like everything, like the guys say that they want in a female, a woman that works or gets money or takes care of the kids, keeps herself together, the household together, takes the kids out, do all that, and you sit home and do nothing. Like, and I'm not saying nothing, but like you go to work, you come, like stuff like that. But when you're off
But you're
work,
not doing no chores. You're not helping with the cooking. You're not helping with the pampers. You're not helping with this. You're not helping with that. It's like,
you
bro.
didn't even want to come out with me with the kids. And but then when you get with other people, you do that stuff to get a reaction out of me, so I can get triggered. You get it? Like I didn't like that shit, and that's why I'm happy. Like I was able and strong enough to not let myself be too much affected by that because I already known the motive. I already knew
Yeah.
what was up. So it's just like, why am I gonna let myself get affected or let it bother me in a sense
By
when I
somebody
already
else's
knew
lack.
thank you. I already knew this was gonna happen. Once I really be upset, you're gonna try to do what I wanted you to do with the next. But it's just like, okay, I know it's BS though. I know you're just doing that just to put on a persona that that's you and it's not. That's me. I instilled that in you. That's not you. Cause it's funny because like you're not in a great aspect now. Like it's just like it's just funny to me. And like I've been wanting to tell this story because like I'm a closed off person. Nobody really knows nothing about
Mhm.
like they know me, but they try to figure me out, try to know my business, so to say. But nobody really knows until like now. But
Until like now, because before this, it probably was like that bitch probably had a one night stand. Look at how she's a fucking hoe.
yeah,
You
like
don't even know the
far from
story.
that, far from that.
You don't
But
even know the story.
story, like exactly. So like literally when we split, I was just like I mind you, I just was like, I'm just want to find me. Like, he took that, which I already knew he was gonna do, got with somebody else. Use that girl to get a reaction out of me. Did it work? No, none at all. Not at all. Okay. So it's just like
That's crazy. Somebody just said that's me. I instilled that in you. Yes. My biggest fear, dog. He gonna do what I taught him for me, but for the next.
And that be a lot of our fear, like no bullshit, like, and that's why I feel like we know we're not genuinely happy inside. Like the guy may do stuff here and there, like to please us in that sense, but we know what we want. We know we're not genuinely really happy. We're happy in that moment because at that moment he's doing something that we said like we wanted him to do, but we know deep in our soul and our heart, I'm not happy. I'm settling. Why am I settling?
Well, I'm gonna tell you why you're settling because it goes back to our readings. Where I will tell you, well, you're only happy because he's finally doing something that you've been wanting him to do. Which in
Hmm.
reality, whatever it is that you want him to do, you should have been doing for yourself.
Exactly.
Because now, what happens when he stops doing it?
Exactly.
You go
So
right back to
it's
that motherfucking place where you're like, what the
exactly. So it's all
fuck?
about accountability. And now it's just like I said, I don't blame him. Like, like honestly, I can really honestly say now is I forgive him
Mhm.
because it made me like, yes, I went through all that unappreciated stuff, doing everything like, could think of and feeling unappreciative in that sense, in that situation. But now that I'm healing myself, I'm bettering myself, I sit back and think like, it makes me think like, okay, doll, what good qualities can you think of that you did do? Like, okay, you do know you can handle being a step, like, take care of kids that's not yours and love them that's not yours. That's one. You can take care of a household, you can cook, you can clean, you can take the kids out, you can work, you can do all that. So it's just like
All by yourself and you
all
didn't
by
need
myself. So it's
nobody.
just like,
But then
yes,
look at
I
the
went through
other
that
point.
unappreciated and a mode, but in a sense, it made me stronger. It made me feel like, all right, so now I know I can be a good woman. I got the qualities. I can be a wife, honey.
So you
Okay,
understand that you wasn't the problem.
thank you.
But then this is the problem that you kind of were the problem because you were settling and then
Like,
trying to blame the other person for it when in reality it was your
it
fault.
was me. It was my fault. I stayed when I knew better.
So we're not gonna fucking forgive him. We're gonna forgive ourselves. I need some tea.
I give it sips tea, but you're right about that. Like, I forgive me. Yes, that's true. I forgive me. I'm still forgiving me for the BS that I went through. Cause nobody like y'all like hearing my story, but like until you really like you're in that situation and you're really feeling like you're stuck. Because like I would feel like I was stuck. Like I was living with him. I had nowhere else to go. Like so it's just like, damn, where do you, damn. Like
Okay,
you're
so
reaching out to
she said,
people.
okay, so weigh out the good and the bad. Well, you know who taught us better? Medea. You sit the fuck down at a kitchen table. You write a list. What's worth it and
Literally,
what's
I did
not.
that. I did that. I literally, no bullshit, guys. I literally did that shit. I from that movie. I put out the good and the bad, and that's why I got the fuck on because the bad outweighed the motherfucking
Outweigh
good.
the good. And most times it is like that. We're just trying to give people the benefit of the fucking doubt.
Exactly, and it was just that always giving the benefit of the doubt. And honestly, it was more of so it's just like, cause me, I was always the type. I'm gonna be honest. I used to be like, me being a stepmother, never. Like I am not like I can't see myself taking care of nobody else's kid. Like they ain't mine. Like it's like no, how am I gonna be? Can I love But I think that's why I stayed longer too because the bond that I had with his girls was just like out of the world. Like when you seen them little girls, you seen me. When you see them little girls, I did them right. Like
Right.
clothes, hair, all that. You can ask people. I don't give a fuck. Like if they want to keep it a buck, keep it a buck. Like when you see them little girls, they was always top tier. Cause of who?
Moi.
Darliana.
Period.
Okay. Period. And like the love that I have for them little girls is was out of the world. So it was just like I didn't want to leave them either. So it was just like I had to finally put me first. So mm,
Yes. I'm here for all of it. I'm here
mm,
for all of it. I love
yeah,
that for you.
I'm here for all of
Um,
it too. Cause it's like I'm still dealing with toxic BS from him, and it's just like for what? Ain't you married, bro? Or
not,
you did you get married for me
not,
because of me?
wait, not hit him with the intermarried, bro.
Let's
I'm
keep like,
fucking
or
listen,
did you get married because I had a baby? Get mad about that? But that's another story,
but right for another episode.
another episode, guys.
Niggas that be mad because they couldn't have what they wanted, but now they made their decision and want to double back on it. Listen, we're not a
Yeah.
chancleta. We don't go back
But
and
no,
forth.
cause that's really another whole story. Because like I part of me, something's telling me in my soul to really just to say it, because like I'm tired of the BS. I'm tired of the people with the secrets. I'm tired of the BS. Look at that.
Listen, this is the platform to do it, honey.
Nah, because like nobody knows. Like, and I'm sorry, because like for the family of like my BD and stuff like that. But just like I'm not sorry, because when I needed that support and that guidance, y'all enabled his behavior, and that's BS. So it's just like speaking on that marriage, it's just like the person that he got married to. No disrespect to the person that he got married to. No issue, no drama. I'm gonna say that it's not even the person.
Because it has nothing to do with the person.
It was just like it kind of does and kind of don't at the same time, because both parties was being messy. It's just like, how are you, mind you, like I don't I want to say it, but something's just like,
That you let's speak your truth.
ah, nah, because it's just like during our engagement and shit, like a baby was, happened to be created into this world,
Mhm.
who resembled my son and him. So I will always ask, is that your kid? Because me, I didn't play that. I want to speak upon that too for the other. I always was that type of girl to be like, if you're not taking care of your kids, that's another reason why I had to go out, like be out too, because like you're not just taking care of our kid and your kids in this household. You need to take care of all your kids, bro. Every last motherfucking one of them. I don't give a fuck. I didn't play that shit. And nobody knows. I used to get told to mind my business. It has nothing to do with me. It's not my business. Like, how not my business when you're with me? Ain't that my business? If
But
we're a
that be the
couple,
problem. They be trying to manipulate and do
thank you. If we're a couple and
all
stuff
this
like that.
motherfucking hoop jumping. We don't got time.
So I'm like, bro, go be a dad to all your kids. If you're not a dad to all your kids, you're a deadbeat. I don't give a fuck. You can't just think you're a good dad just to three or two. You
It's
have
giving
other
sperm
seeds
donor.
out there, bro.
It's giving sperm donor.
Eh, Heavy on the sperm donor. So we're gonna get to that. Heavy on the sperm donor. So we're gonna get to that. Heavy on the fucking sperm donor, because the motherfuckers, okay, while we're together,
Let's see who we can find in the bank.
you're
We have
secretly,
Mr. here.
what I thought was he gave the sperm away to help les couple have a baby.
The
That's what I
fucking
got told.
tragedy. Not
Thank
in
you.
the name of the LGBTQ. Bitch, I'm done. I'm fucking. Do I have more tea? No, I have a little spittle left, bitch.
Nah, guy, cause nobody knows like why I like why I spaz the way I do in certain situations. Cause like I've been nice, like I be nice, like I me they can think about a Taurus too. We'll take on shit, but take on shit, and then we fucking explode, bro. Then we're crazy. Fuck that. Nah, I gave you too many
No,
chances, so
bitch,
I died.
I'm upset. I'm upset because you really said the gay couple. Not for the
No,
LGBTQ, bitch. Not the donation. Right. Like I said. So we looked up. So we have this sir here. Okay. He's available. Like, what the fuck is going on? We're not doing this shit.
we're not doing this. That's what I'm saying. We're not. That's a thank you. We're not doing this shit. So baby came. Mind you, we're engaged at this time, and the baby I think was here already. So when I happened to get a look of like how she, I'm like, that's your baby.
I was
No,
giving resemblance.
yeah, heavy on big resemblance, big resemblance. Always will ask, like always will ask, that's your baby. That's your baby. Da, da, da. Mind you, this is where we're engaged. We're not even married yet. Like, if you would have been honest, kept it the truth, who knows where it could have like, worked it out. Who knows? Always lied. No, I said you didn't give your sperm away again. No, no, I didn't. Da da da. Da. All right, cool. Dropped it. Ended it. Boom.
Wait, because she said, and you ain't let me in on it before? Girl, she ain't let me in on it
Cousin,
either.
I'm to
We
myself,
found
cause
out like the rest of the world on the
thank you.
podcast.
So guys, so then break it down to him getting married and shit, right? So come to find out, the person that he's got married to is the person that he gave the sperm to have the baby. Ain't yeah.
No sunshine
I,
when he's gone. Like,
ain't that some be like ain't that some dumb shit like but nobody knows is that even probably Shorty don't know, but she probably knows now. Is just like he only did that out of spite with me because I had a baby. But it's like I want you guys to know this right here and out. Like I didn't have my daughter get pregnant out of spite. I didn't get pregnant to say, oh, I'm gonna get pregnant. I didn't go around just fucking anybody, just fucking niggas. Like, oh, I'm gonna get pregnant to have my daughter. Nah, that's not what happened at all. But it was just like, I'm grown at the end of the fucking day.
period.
So, and I ended
Listen,
up
listen. We're gonna leave that for another episode because, honey,
okay. So yeah, so it goes to that situation. So it's just like no, like it's just a whole toxic mess. And now I want everybody to see why I chose to leave and why I'm happy I left. Because who wants to deal with someone that's so petty like that and so narcissistic and like who like what in your right mind? Like I'm sorry, like why would you like say, oh, I'm gonna get married because to get back at her because she had a baby?
wait. She said that is too much tea to spill today, honey. I just ran out. I, nothing left.
No, I had to because like I have to speak my truth for those so you guys can really understand the shit that I endured because like I said, like everybody like who knows if I'm the only one possibly going through that situation or went through that situation, Or who knows if somebody's going through that situation and still stuck in that situation, they don't know what to do,
And don't know
you
what
know?
the fuck to do because of the lack
No,
of
because
self
like
value and loving yourself.
sometimes like when like my cousin said, like you sit like you be feeling like you're stuck, like not stuck, like honestly stuck, like because I'm not gonna lie, sometimes like when I did leave him and months will pass by, even a years and stuff like that, because it's been like 2 years since we haven't been together, going on three. So it's just like part of me be like, did I make the right choice to be all set and to like move on to leave, shit like that. And then when shit keeps piling up and keeps happening, I just reminder the universe, dog, this is why you made the right
Wait. She said she said you're not ready. They're not gonna be ready for the podcast. Sure the fuck ain't.
choice. So it's just like if I'm
She
gonna tell
said,
my truth, I gotta say it all because it's not even an ending thing with this person. Like how you like that's just toxic.
yeah,
And
like you.
nobody understands that. Like honestly, I like I'm happy for him. Like you're married and all that shit. Like, but it's just the fact like that person. Like it could have been anybody else. You chose that person and the person that you cheated on me with and had a baby with secretly, and you denied, and then you're gonna turn around and get married to that same person. That's crazy to me. And for people to make me his some of the families make me feel like I'm wrong for feeling a type of way because I had a baby and we're not together no more. I don't give a fuck. That's still a feeling like knowing that you like the whole time I'm trying to get the truth out of you. I'm asking you, and you lied to me for like lied to me and lied to me and lied to me and said that baby was not yours. And then you're gonna turn around and marry her.
I feel you, but that's not for us to understand. That's because he's broken and he needs love. So we're gonna let him figure it out, right?
Period.
Because you're Gucci over here, bitch. Okay. So, next question. So now, like, because after all of that, that's when you started taking your spiritual baths. You started doing all the things that you had to do. Wait, somebody said the only reason why he engaged you is because he knew what he was doing behind his back. So, in our reality, what's in the dark's going to come to the light. What's in the dark is going to come to the light, baby girl. So don't worry about it. Period.
Exactly. Exactly that. Exactly.
And that's how Mary had a little lamb. And we
Period.
made a coat out that bitch. But listen, because it's cold out here. Bundle up. Right? But listen, it gets crazy because then you ended up taking your spiritual baths, going
Mm-hmm.
into meditation, depression because that happened,
Yeah.
fighting yourself. and now we're here. So now my question to you is, have you found any of your gifts, spiritual gifts?
Honestly, this goes for me always doubting myself. I
Because this episode is about self-value, remember that.
Right. So I'm gonna just honestly say it. I feel like I have found my like some of my abilities because like I swear like I am psychic. Like I be having images in my head and sometimes they end up happening. Like they may not happen right then and there, but down the line it ends
It
up
does.
happening and I'm just like, oh shit. Like
Well, I mean, like the whole LA trip when you went to go do the runway, you had that vision too.
yeah. Like I see myself literally in my head going down a runway, like lights flashing and lights and all that, and then boom, I go to LA and then I go down that runway.
So she's asking, that's what I'm saying. How did you cope? And did it take somebody else to come into your life to cope? Well, no, that's what I was just saying. She had to go into her spiritual journey and take her spiritual
Guys,
bath.
how did like listen? Like it was a struggle. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not even gonna lie. I had nights where I cried,
You know how
nights
many
where I
times you hit
screamed.
me the fuck up?
Like I need like
I'm
Joey,
going
like I
fucking
need.
crazy, bitch. I'm like, relax.
There was times I wanted to fucking blow shit up like fucking left eye. Okay.
Okay, bitch. Not left
I
eye.
wanted to like like I was like spiraling, but then I always like it's like I feel that's why I feel like I got pregnant for a reason because once I got pregnant, like I had to sit, I had to think, like I couldn't smoke, I couldn't drink it out, I
You
couldn't do none
had
of that
no
shit.
choice but to just
I had to
confront it.
sit and think of everything, sit in my funk, literally like damn, like fuck, and now I'm pregnant, and then this and that, and yeah, how my family gonna take it? How da, 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 like it
You
was
know how many
just
times I had to cuss you out during readings? Like yelling at this bitch like she was my daughter. Like, but that's spirit's love. Like, spirit is
yes.
always gonna tell you the truth. Spirit is always gonna come down on you, even when you don't like it. Because this is the thing that people
Hmm.
don't understand. How did she cope with it? She coped with it by getting in touch with her higher self, by
Hmm.
getting the readings, by taking her spiritual baths, by
Realizing
meditating,
my self-worth, loving myself more
by
than
reflecting,
anything.
by hello. It
Like
takes a lot. You really have to sit down and hold yourself accountable
accountable.
for all
And
the
a lot of
shit
people
that you
can't do
went
that.
through, even though the other person had a part to play. So did you.
Hmm. Exactly. Literally, that's really how I've been coping to this day. And like sometimes, like you have your slip ups, because it's not like I said, it's not easy. But how I cope and stuff, like when I feel like I'm getting upset, or if I feel like I got overly upset, I have to sit with myself and think like, dog. Remember, you controlling your own thoughts, you controlling your own reaction, you control what you're gonna say, all that. So it's just like, girl, relax. Know
Right.
that you play a part in it, and it's just like take accountability. You can't be
Right.
mad at nobody but yourself. Like
But yourself.
that's the thing. Like us, we play the victim card in the blame game. Like, oh, my life is like this. Oh, he did this to me. Da da da. You let him. You let that happen.
Right. Right. So with that being said, so your gifts, you feel like you're starting to get your psychic abilities with your
And another
visions
thing,
and
I feel like my what's it called? Dang it, the word just slipped my mind. But like I can tell I'm enhancing like my light is getting like shining, must be shining. My energy is big because when I be out in public, random people will just come up to me, animals, kids, everybody just gravitating towards my ass and be annoying sometimes. But I gotta remember, no, just relax.
well, that is the point. You have to remember that the point of you ascending, like Jesus said, it was for you to go and spread your gospel. What better way than to be outside and people gravitating towards you and be like, telling them they're telling you their fucking life story and you got some advice for them.
Always, always, literally, I can just be like at freaking Walmart or something. Somebody's coming up to me telling me their life story, and I'm just like, okay, because I'm a good listener. That's one thing I can honestly say.
Yeah.
But I make the people who know me and are in my life who are close to me know, like I make you feel, not that I make you feel like that, but like when you talk to me, they feel safe,
I
like
like
they
to
can,
feel heard. Hmm.
yeah. I don't feel like they know I won't judge you. You can say anything. I'm not gonna judge you or nothing. Like everybody goes through stuff. Things happen. Who am I to judge? Because I've been through shit too. I ain't perfect. Shit.
Period. I know that's fucking right. So, I have three questions for you. The
Ah,
last
shit.
three questions. What do you believe God is now?
What do I believe God is now? I believe God is just like here to guide and like I don't want to say mold us, but like guide and mold us to our better selves. Like to know like no matter you can be on like yo in your worst situation, like call on him and just believe in him and know he's there and got your back. You will get through it. Like because there was times and nights and listen days where I felt like I'm not gonna get out of this. Like, how am I gonna get out of this shit? Like, the thoughts in my mind, like, I feel like I was going crazy. Like, literally, like, damn, like, fuck,
And this is
fuck,
the other thing. When I say her getting in touch with her higher self, what I mean is God, because your
yeah,
higher self is God.
yeah,
Okay, that's why it made you in its. That's why it made you in its image. Okay,
yeah,
and that's why you have a direct contact to it because it's inside of you. It's part of you. You are it having a human
yes,
experience. So you think that what God is basically us being able to reach our best potential, which is our highest vibration. I
mm-hmm,
like that.
yep.
I like that. So the next question is, what do you think your purpose is now?
Honestly, I think my purpose is to like do stuff like this, like have talks and like meet with people, like like share my story and like tell people like you're not alone. Like you can get out of that. You can no matter like what you've been through, like the situations you're in, you feeling stuck, this and that. Like I really feel as though like I don't want to say like I'm a reader and like that because like I'm not on your level yet. But
Listen, you're all gonna get there, all of you.
so it's just like, but I really feel like I can do tarot and like really be there like to like help and help people like because I feel like I like doing stuff like that. I like talking, making people feel better and happy because me like I can be in my own funk, I can be in my own depression, my own sorrow. But if I see somebody else hurt and stuff like that, don't know what to do, I'm going to do my best to make sure you don't feel what I'm feeling because I know what you're feeling. If that makes
Well,
sense. Like,
of course, because that is the point. That's why Jesus said, "Thou shalt not judge," because
mm-hmm,
what the next person is going through, you can be going through in the next couple months. So
literally,
don't judge. Help them. Be compassionate. Be helpful, and that's
mm,
what we're doing. It's like I tell people, it's like, yeah, think that you're gonna get this reading and that I'm just gonna tell you about your problems. No, the point is for me to help you find a fucking solution, so you
solution.
don't go through this cycle no more. So we can
Exactly.
ascend. So we can change. So we can start changing our consciousness, right? So I kind
Mm-hmm.
of feel like, yeah, that I like that. I love it. You like it, I love it. Okay.
Period.
So your purpose, what you feel is like now, it's more of trying to incorporate your dream of modeling and stuff and communicating and being social with spirituality, which is
hmm
the goal.
Yeah, because it's like if I want, like, how can you be a model and you're shy and you don't talk to people, you don't engage? You modeling, you have to talk to different people. Like, you got to put yourself out there to get, And then my other manifestations require me to put myself out there more. So it's just like enough. And then I feel like the universe is trying to, in little ways, get me out there like this. This is my first
Well,
live.
yeah, the first part was even
Nobody
that
ever,
relationship.
like, my cousin on here too. Like, they know I do not do this. Like, I do not be like, what? I'm
Well,
shy, guys.
the first part was believing in yourself to leave that relationship.
Exactly.
That was the
Exactly.
universe like, okay, if you're gonna do this, then this is what you need to do.
And ever
Because you
since,
can't be in the shadow of nobody else but yourself to be able to
exactly.
shine. Here we are shining, right?
Shine bright like a diamond.
Okay, then tonight. Let me stop playing.
Yo, we're too
Listen, so what are your plans? What are some of your plans now?
um well, I have like my little ideas, but like with my other manifestations that I got in my head, like I want to like say it, but like I believe in the evil eye, so I don't
Oh
want to really
yeah. Mhm.
like put it out there. But I got some. Y'all gonna see, and y'all gonna support. That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, how about this? Where can they find you to be able to follow your work or what you're about to be doing and what's about to go down? Like the me is, okay?
Well, my ass is well. You know me. I'm stubborn, and I take my time with stuff. So But you can guys can follow and see like on my Facebook, like or like my Instagram, my Snapchat, or my TikTok.
So what is
And it's
your
all and
Instagram,
literally
your
it's all
Snapchat?
the same name, all the same name too, like Love Doll or Doll or something. I'm the only doll.
I
Darliana
am so
is
done.
Beach.
So if you guys want, go follow her on her Facebook, which is Darliana Clanton, and then yeah, you can go from there.
hmm
So with that being said, collective, I feel like this was a good episode.
It was. It got juicy.
It did get juicy. Um, what advice do you give someone who wants to start a spiritual journey but afraid because of social constructs, religion, and family, and so on?
Honestly, I would say F for anybody else feels, how anybody else is gonna think, what they're gonna say. Because at the end of the day, is it your life or theirs? Is it
Period.
your testimony or theirs? Is it your extension or theirs? Is it your happiness or theirs?
Do we have to balance it out for you?
Like and I'm gonna tell you right now, it's not gonna be easy. You're gonna have to sit in your fucking funk, okay?
Right.
But just know you got this. You really got this. Because if I got through it, listen, because I didn't think I was gonna get through this shit. I'm still going through the shit, but I'm
Okay,
here
because it never
and I'm
stops.
happy. I can honestly say now, like I am genuinely happy. Like I have my days. We all have our days where you get stressed. Life be life, and but overall, I'm
Wait,
happy.
wait, because she said, my life, yes. Let me be great in peace now. Cause can I get a reading, please?
Yes, cousin, get your reading, girl.
Listen, darling. Yes, you can definitely get a reading. If you need my link, just inbox me and I'll send you the link. And I'll definitely get you started on that spiritual journey. Cause baby, it's real out here.
For
People don't
real.
understand that the spiritual journey is more about you finally establishing a relationship with your higher self, which
Mhm.
is God,
Yeah.
right? But it takes the middleman out. It takes the priest out. It takes the church out of the equation. It takes the Bible out of the equation. It's more about you sitting with yourself
So
and being able to tap into the energy for yourself so nobody can tell you shit. It's
yeah.
like we go back to the story. You know how many people told Darliana that she was not gonna have her daughter? And even on like a couple days before her baby shower, she's like, "Are you sure it's a girl?" I said, "Bitch, if God said that it's a girl, it's a girl. We're not gonna sit here and argue with the divine. Like that's not what we're about to do."
No, literally, guys. Like literally. Even when I pushed her ass out, I'm just like making sure she's like, because I was
Fucking
just so mind
done.
blown. Because like it really, like honestly, it just goes to show like it. Because it's just like how Joey acts like about my abilities and my spiritual like abilities and stuff like that. So it's just like I knew she was a girl. Like I said, like I told people my next kid was gonna be a girl. So just like when I get receive my blessing, receive my manifestations, it just be like, oh shit. Like
It's crazy. And then remember, Spirit was like, "Oh, because your daughter's gonna be a witch. She's gonna be spiritual too." And
yes,
then she
guys,
was
like
born
I
with a
had to say that
veil.
too before the reading ended. Speaking of that, my little baby, yes. Cause I always got told that she's gonna be spiritual, like she's gonna be like, put on this earth for a reason. And come to find out, when I gave birth to my little angel baby, she was born in the veil. And that means she's a spiritual baby because that like happens like out of like what one out of like thousands that
Yeah,
happens.
isn't that what your midwife said, or whoever it
hmm
was?
Guys, I even had people. I had nurses and stuff wanting to see my video. Like, oh my god, talking about you could be in books, you could be in stuff like that because that really
She's
happened.
really in the veil. Yeah, she's in the veil because she's gonna be a medium. She has to be born in the
And
veil.
not for nothing, guys. Not for nothing. Like ever since my daughter's been here, she's been a blessing. Like she's like I can tell she's doing her work. Like even though she's a baby, but she's been doing her due diligence. Okay,
Not,
she's been
not the due diligences. Okay, come on, Sister Patty.
she, she been doing her work. Like no like no bullshit. Like my girl's been doing her work. She
I
has.
know that's right. So
Yes.
basically,
And
your advice,
everybody who meets her just loves her, just gravitates towards her. Like, I love her, so I'll take her.
as
Like,
they should, because she's a high vibrational baby. Okay.
yeah.
So your advice would be stop listening to people. Weigh out your options. Is it your
Mhm.
happiness? Is it your life? Is it their life? Is it, you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, that's what it's about. And I
Yeah.
kind of feel like we should all have a say so in how we ascend and the choices
hmm
that we make. Stop
Yep.
allowing social constructs and governments and teachers and priests and churches trying to tell you what it is that you need to believe. Because at the end of the day, you were placed here with free will, so you can figure out what it is that you want to believe,
Yep.
right? So at the
Mm-hmm.
end of the day, I want to thank you, Darliana, for being the first guest on my podcast. It's been amazing having you on here. I really
Thank you
hope
for
that
having me.
the guests have enjoyed the podcast. If you guys have any
Thank you
questions,
guys for hearing my
this would
story.
okay, this would be the time if you guys have any questions. But nonetheless, I kind of feel like this was a success, and I can't wait until you guys hear about the next episode, which I will be promoting soon, which
Yeah.
will come out December 12th at 12:12. Today we did have some difficult technical difficulties because we still Darl has to still figure out some things. I was running late. I had to make my tea, bitch. Okay, clearly I needed it. Okay, because we were spilling some tea.
Hell yeah.
So I hope that this podcast and this episode resonated with you, and I hope that it helped you find your own self value within yourself because we are all valuable and we all fucking matter.
Literally. And
Okay.
before we end this, I'm gonna say this now. For me speaking my truth, don't come for me. I don't want to hear nothing. I said what I said, and that's
When
that.
I said it.
And I was not just that. Don't come for me. I don't want to hear nothing. I don't want to argue or none of that. When
If
I
you
just
want to timestamp what I said, go timestamp what I said, but don't ask me about what I said.
said, because I said what I said. Okay.
All right. We love you and we'll see you next time.
Thank
Bye,
you. Love you
collective.
guys.